Hi everyone. I've just written a blog post, which is unusual for me. I don't do that very much nowadays, but I've written one and I wanted to come on here and share a bit of it with you. It's about social media as a form of professional development, which is a topic that I am very interested in and care about a lot because I've been using social media as a tool of professional development for pretty much as long as social media has existed almost. So I always have a lot of thoughts about it. It's something I'm passionate about, and I just find it very interesting. And I don't want to sound like an old person, but I do think that nowadays it's not as good as it was like back in the day, when it was predominantly the community we had was about blogging and about Twitter. When Twitter was good, it was about those two things kind of working together, giving us a space to sort of share our thoughts and then respond to each other. And because we had those opportunities, it meant that we really got to know each other well. And that essentially is why this is so important to me, why I care about it, is because it's about community. And I've always been interested in ELT community, and that's why I'm so passionate about teachers associations. I think that it's super important. So that's why I was very motivated to share some thoughts on my blog. And then yesterday, there was the announcement by Zuckerberg about Facebook's new moderation, which I think is outrageous and awful, and appalled by it. And so I want to share with you just the last sort of paragraph or so that I wrote here, and hopefully you find it interesting and something to think about. I find the whole thing repugnant, and I resent the fact that I rely on these types of people to give me a platform in order to communicate with you. It irritates me. But then what can we do about that? What choices do we have? I'm not suggesting that we should forget all of these platforms and stop using them completely, because I don't think that's realistic. But I do think it's important that we consider how we use these platforms and what we want to get out of them, and who owns them, and how happy we are to give them our money, because time is money, and just because you're not giving them your money directly doesn't mean you're not paying them. And how we feel about who owns the content that we share with each other. It's not an easy question to answer. I'm not sure I have a direct answer to give you for what we should be doing. But I do feel like this is a conversation that needs to be had, and I do think we should be looking for a better solution. And it's something that I want you to think about.